And welcome back to the Good Brothers Basketball Podcast. Jonathan here today, and I got my good buddy Rob,
What up?
or excuse me, good brother. It's not good buddy. And
Top guys.
top guys back in action once again. It is we're getting into the middle of March. It's a stretch run of the NBA season. Teams are starting to fall off. Some teams are starting to separate in the standings. But one team in particular is standing head and shoulders above the rest. The Los Angeles Lakers are falling apart right before our eyes. Rob, we thought this was going to be a playoff team. Everybody's hurt. Everybody hates the coach. LeBron's only in it for himself and his cryptic social media posts. What's going on in Lakerland, man?
Hey, congrats to LeBron James for passing Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list. Successful season, I guess.
You got cool new PEs coming out for his sneakers, like really showing out for Hollywood, and it's been frustrating at times watching LeBron play with subpar talent, and it kind of really makes you realize that going to LA was going to be an experience in its own right, but we didn't think it would go this bad.
I wonder what the crowd reaction is going to be when LeBron passes Kobe next season in a Lakers jersey.
Ooh. I mean, it was already a tough break when we had murals being desecrated, and just all of Lakerland was up in arms for most of it. But it's just surprising seeing a LeBron James-led team as of today, March 7th. Do I have the date right? March 7th, sitting at 30-35. They have a 1% chance to make the playoffs, and their lottery chances are slowly getting better.
They're tanking for Zion. This has been the plan all along.
If the Lakers do somehow end up with Zion Williamson, and then you get a core that features Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, assuming they're not traded yet, and then you throw Zion Williamson into the mix with LeBron, did he really do it again?
Look, if they get the number one pick, they're not going to draft Zion because he's going to get traded for Anthony Davis. It's the number one pick plus like everybody else that was supposed to be in the trade. They might not have to trade like Lonzo anymore or Josh Hart or somebody like that. But if they get the number one pick with Zion, it's like Zion, Kuzma, and Brandon Ingram for AD or something like that.
And I think what really is going to blow my mind is if they actually do land this trade, like you said, you keep Lonzo, who's actually been one of the bigger missed tools in this Lakers lineup, because after last night's loss, the Lakers now have a worse record without Lonzo than they do without LeBron. So not to point fingers directly, but this Laker lineup just isn't the same if they don't have Lonzo Ball on the perimeter.
He's a very good defender. He's always been a very good defender. He's big. He's competitive, and he's been missed pretty much in Lakerland, which is something that you really didn't think was going to be the case with all, the hoopla of LeVar and him and the Ball family and whatnot. But Lonzo's a pretty solid player, and they've missed him a lot.
So with the offseason creeping up faster on the Lakers than they initially anticipated, if you don't win the lottery, if you don't get that top 3, top 5 draft pick, where do you go from here? Do you just throw the kitchen sink at getting an Anthony Davis deal done? Do you just call up Kevin Durant, say, what's your price? Get Kyrie Irving out there? What's the plan of action?
There's a really dark timeline where the Lakers get nobody, because this is something that is very much in play. The Celtics beating out the Lakers in any deal for Anthony Davis, and then re-signing Kyrie because they get Anthony Davis. Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler re-signing with Philly. Kawhi going to the Clippers. Durant going to the Knicks. Clay staying with Golden State. Boogie taking KD's max slot to stay in Golden State. Chris Middleton re-signing with Milwaukee. That's literally all the good free agents. There's like restricted free agents that maybe, I guess you can throw an offer sheet at D'Angelo Russell.
Mm.
He'd look good in Laker purple and gold, I guess. You can have make a run at unrestricted free agent Julius Randle. I know he's going to be a free agent after this season. I don't think his option is going to get picked up by New Orleans. So those are two guys that you can go after, Julius Randle and D'Angelo Russell.
Man, if only I think they're on their second teams now, so that's a bit of an odd destination to go to the Lakers. But oh wait, they were already Lakers and sold for pennies on the dollar. That's why you trust bad management.
D'Angelo Russell is an all-star.
And he was in a salary dump.
Yeah, and I think Julius Randle is averaging like 18 and 9 in New Orleans.
They're playing him correctly. Yeah, they're letting him space the floor.
Yeah, they're using him as a rim runner. He's been in the hoopla that is Anthony Davis. He's averaging 20 and 8.8 and 3 assists. And he's shooting 34% from 3. Julius Randle is having a tremendous season.
But in typical Pelicans fashion, because they're right now out of the playoff picture, you're not going to hear much of it. Small market blues.
You know who would be good on the Lakers right now because they really, really need a center? Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is shooting 36% from 3 on 6 attempts a game.
I think there was a center that was available at the trade deadline. Zubac. I'm drawing a blank on his first name. I've seen him. I've seen him put up some decent numbers this year.
It's all good, bro. They traded for Mike Muscala. Ooh. That's the answer. A rotation of Mike Muscala, Tyson Chandler, and JaVale McGee.
Well, the Lakers are in the end game right now, and there's a lot of ways this can go bad and very few where it can go right, if not one. So they're going to have some chips to fall their way. But if it makes the Laker nation feel any better, there's some turmoil out in Boston with the Celtics. Teammates don't like each other. The coach can't get a grasp on what lineups to play. Kyrie's he's gone nuclear in his press conferences and his off-camera tidbits and interviews and whatnot. There's also an end game for the Celtics to where the dark timeline kicks in and all the assets are gone, all the draft picks are used up, and you have one Eastern Conference Finals loss to show for it. This could go bad for them too.
Yeah, but I feel like, Boston's in a better position than LA, possibly. Boston's in the 5th seed right now, 40-26. Indiana is 42-23 in the 3 seed, so they could potentially go all the way up and get to the number 3 seed with a good week. They had a good week. Gordon Hayward dropped 30 against Sacramento in the game winner. Gordon Hayward had 30, I think, against Golden State. Boston's had a pretty decent week.
And then this was the week where they had to get things turned around because this past Sunday they had a very, very frustrating home loss to the Rockets. I want to say in the past month or so, they've lost to the Bulls by double digits, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
They've lost to the Knicks at one point this season. They've lost to the Suns at one point this season. It's been frustrating loss after frustrating loss, and they've never really stringed it together, and they've been a very mediocre team considering the amount of talent they have. But coming off a 25-point win off the Warriors and a buzzer beater the next night against the Kings has them feeling a little bit better now going forward. So there's still room for them to kind of, get things figured out. Granted, like we said, we're in the middle of March now. This isn't when you want to figure things out as an NBA team. So they give themselves some time to work with.
The best part about it is they get to play the Lakers on Sunday. So, that's another W in the bag pretty much. LeBron is on a minute restrictions now. LeBron is not playing back-to-backs anymore. As soon as they fell off the playoff race, LeBron's groin injury magically, came back. I think he rushed it back because he saw how bad they were losing and, the playoff mode activated, whatnot that he was talking about. I think that was him, really trying to will his team back in the playoffs. It's just, I think he's still hurt. I don't think he got over a groin injury. Groin injuries are really fickle. It's not something you kind of just get over. So if you come back, even if you come back 80%, it's hard to go from 80% to 100% without actually resting. So LeBron might have felt that he could come back at 80% and still, be dominant, which he had a triple double a couple games. He's scoring 30, getting rebounds. He's getting his stats, but he's looks slow. He looks like he's not exerting effort on defense. It's
I think there
just
was
been
a
a tough
clip where
time.
like Kuzma like pushes him to go cover somebody, and even going back to last year, LeBron used defensive possessions to like catch his breath and kind of put into first or second year, like, let me take it easy here for a bit. But those minutes and years, they might be catching up to him, man. Their groin's not gonna heal itself as fast as it used to. It's not the same LeBron that we're used to. This could be, I don't want to say the D word, but he doesn't look the same.
I mean, he doesn't look the same, but I still think in like a 7-game series of him being 100% healthy, he's still going to look phenomenal. It's just, health and the groin. If he had maybe another 2 weeks to take off to make sure that groin was 100%, I think he'd be better. But by then, the Lakers would still be in the same place that they are right now, falling out of the playoff race if he had to take another 2 weeks. The game he came back against the Clippers, the report in the morning was he wasn't going to play. And then like 3 hours later, it was like, yeah, LeBron's playing tonight. So, I mean, I don't think he's healthy.
It
That's
might
just
be
the
in his
bottom
best
line.
interest. They mentioned that they would calm it down. He would be on his minutes restriction. I think at this point he might have to just, in all intents and purposes, shut it down, because there's almost no point to log these minutes. Fight and claw just to get to the 8 seed, to where you're going to be meeting a Golden State team in round 1.
Yeah, definitely. I think they'll be in a good place draft wise. They'll probably be able to get like Bol Bol. Bol Bol would be great on this team, just a center that can protect the rim, 7'2", 7'3", that can hit threes. That'd be somebody you look for to draft. But I think like you really need a complete shift in roster dynamics. Rondo's got to go probably. Rondo's fine. Rondo's a good player. I just don't know if he works kind of, with Rondo, with Lonzo, and not really having shooting from the point guard position, like top tier shooting. That kind of hurts LeBron, especially with LeBron, dominating the ball. I think JaVale McGee's fine. Tyson Chandler's fine, but they shouldn't be playing heavy minutes. I think, well, Beasley's already gone, so that's good. Muscala can go. I don't really think there's really use for Muscala, but
How about Lance?
Lance has his moments, but like if Lance was Kyle Korver, it'd be so much better, like if it was just somebody that can shoot. Lance, I don't know. Lance can probably go too. Like they really just need to. The whole bench unit needs to change up. Like they really need to flip the roster on its side.
I think Magic and Pelinka will have a busy offseason. Unfortunately, I don't think Luke Walton's going to stick around for it, and I think it's going to be LeBron handpicking another guy.
Yeah, Genie Bus has been very adamant of keeping Luke Walton. I don't know what Luke Walton did to have this much protection from Genie Bus.
Who does he have pictures of?
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna get into it, but I won't get into it with Luke Walton and Genie Bus. Was like, I really think there should be a change, and now it's really who is going to be the coach. Like, you gonna go after Ty Lue again? Ty Lue sitting David Blatt, somebody like that. Like, who's gonna coach the Lakers? Like, is it Jason Kidd? Is it like who? Mark Jackson? Like, I don't think any of these are actual top tier choices.
Though it has no relevance to it. Do you remember when the Kobe and Shaq split was going on? But before they split, the Lakers reached out to Coach K and said, "Name your price."
Like,
that happened once.
Coach K's not going to come coach this team. They're not going to lure.
I think the Cavs even asked Tom Izzo to come down from Michigan State and coach before LeBron left the first time.
I guess you can go ask Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino has a lot of issues that, but I guess you could go after Rick Pitino. I mean, you're not going to lure Spo. I don't think you're going to lure Carlisle anywhere. Like, I don't know. You know, their coaching carousel. They're probably still paying D'Antoni. They're probably still paying Mike Brown. I don't know when those contracts ran out, but like there really hasn't been stability in the coaching staff. There really hasn't been stability in the front office, and it's all culminating. You know, signing the best player in the world, LeBron James, didn't fix the mess that the Lakers.
They signed LeBron and got worse.
Yeah,
They're on pace right now to finish with 2 less wins than last year. That's stuff the Clippers do, not the Lakers.
that's a really like telling sign that you can sign LeBron James and still not make the playoffs. Like I don't really think it's LeBron's fault too much. Injuries, coaching, front office decisions. That's what it is. And
They did lose to the Suns. That was pretty inexcusable.
really, all I can say is LeBron needs some help.
Something, man. Just to kind of
story of his career.
Get this man some help. Just to go around the NBA a little bit here. What do you make of Trae Young's recent acting out right now? Because last week he averaged over 35 points a game.
Trae Young is the definition of a heat check player, because when Trae Young is feeling it, he's one of the closest things that you get to a Dame Lillard, to a Steph Curry, to a Kemba Walker on certain nights. He's in that tier of point guards that can put it on the floor, shake and bake, pull up from anywhere. Like, and you know, he's exactly what we thought he was going to be. He's a good ball handler. He's a good passer. He has a good shot of getting hot from night to night and pouring in 35 plus, and he's going to be a liability on defense. It really isn't a surprise, but Atlanta has 2 blue chip guys in Collins and Trae Young, and you know, 2 first round picks that might probably be top 10, depending on where that Dallas pick is going to be, 10 or 11 or whatnot, depending how far the Lakers slide still. But yeah, they're going to add 2 more lottery picks into that team, and Atlanta's pretty much set for the future.
Like, they had a good idea this year to just, kind of let the young guys go out there, take their lumps, get their feet wet, get used to the show, and we'll run it back, back in 2020. What else we got going on?
I just wonder if will they be able to attract a free agent that could be. I don't know if they really need a 1A, but I think Collins is a good number 2. I think Trae Young is a good number 2, but I don't see these guys being the number 1 guy. Like, I don't see them being Steph Curry. I don't think Trae Young's going to be Steph Curry. I don't think, Trae Young's going to be Dame Lillard, like that number 1 guy. And even Dame Lillard has had trouble giving Portland playoff success. So are they going to be able to attract a free agent? Are they going to be able to attract like a Boogie? Are they going to be able to go out and like, do they have to settle for like a Tobias Harris or Chris Middleton or somebody like that? Or will they even be able to attract a Tobias Harris or Chris Middleton, who's more of a mid-tier free agent? That's what I'm going to be interested in with Atlanta.
So this is a first in our podcast history, sir. According to Ian Rappaport on Twitter, the Steelers are closing in on a deal to send wide receiver Antonio Brown.
Hold on. Let me guess the team.
Okay, go ahead.
It's either the Raiders or the Packers.
I'm sorry, sir. You are wrong on both of them. This is a team that missed the playoffs last year and the year before. Oh. I might have spoiled it. They did make the playoffs in the last 3 years.
This is not the Niners, is it?
Nope.
Huh, I don't know who. Hold on. AFC, NFC?
AFC.
Oh, he's staying in the AFC? Houston.
Antonio Brown is going to the AFC East as a Buffalo Bill.
That's a good trade. Is he did they trade the 9th pick?
No, this literally right now we're recording this at 8:37. This is from Ian Rappaport at 8:28. The Steelers are closing in on a deal to send wide receiver Antonio Brown to the Bills. Let's see. There's still nothing on feedback yet. Yeah, the official NFL Twitter has put it up. Nothing on the return yet, but that's a hell of a target one for Josh Allen.
Yeah, so fans, everybody, thank you for listening to the Bleacher Preacher Podcast NBA show. We're going to wrap this up and go ahead and start recording NFL. John, plug your Twitter.
Plug your Twitter at Jonathan_R. I'm pretty funny.
Rob_BPP. You can follow us at the show, Bleacher Preacher Podcast, at Bleach Preach Pod on Twitter. We're on SoundCloud, Google Play. We're not on Spotify. I'm not sure we'll ever be on Spotify. We're on iTunes, Stitcher. We're everywhere. Hit us up. Follow us on Instagram. We're here. We're gonna jump in as soon as we hit pause on this episode. We're gonna, finish the upload, and then we're gonna jump right into the NFL. So keep on the lookout. The NFL pod is coming out.
Later, guys. See you in about 5 minutes.